All right, I've talked a little bit about the Brad taste in music and drama, but definitely not as much as other people, and there has been a lot of that drama. It seems to have all come to a close now, but basically it's just Brad was making some weird videos, and then eventually he like admitted that he got arrested for domestic violence, and his spouse like responded with like some audio of him going absolutely bonkers.
You destroyed me! What? How? Stop lying to me!
Very ugly stuff. Partially why I didn't cover it at the time, but talked about it a little bit in the Ronnie Radke video because he had a public feud with Ronnie Radke, believe it or not, at one point, and I used to watch this guy's videos when he was somewhat normal. This is an internet anarchist video, the most evil YouTube downfall ever. He lost everything, including his marbles. Did you guys ever watch this guy? I am into many of the Five Nights at Freddy's characters. Would you explore their bodies? Which one specifically? Chica, I just want to see ya!
Like you've hit
what did I Show Speed say on that one stream? Chica, you're so sick! I don't remember.
rock bottom, just know that at least you aren't Brad taste in music. This one tweet perfectly summarizes the historic downfall of Brad taste in music. He went from being
what is this photograph? He's in a is this edited? Is this a deep fake?
Cow with a passion for on-camera meltdowns.
It's like every day is hard.
To a straight-up villain.
Stop being such a wimp. Look at me.
Yeah, this is from the clip I was talking about with his ex-fiance or something. I don't know what the hell they were arguing about, but I would give this interaction a red headphones. Not good. I don't like listening to it. I was trying to remember what his rating system was. Anyways.
Accept what you have done to me. Did you see what I've become? Look at me.
Say you did? Is that you?
He verbally abused his girlfriend Tina for years, got arrested for it, and all he had to say in his defense was that he tends to, quote, get very loud.
Like, when I get very angry,
he made like 85 update videos like this for some reason and posted them to his main channel, even though he has a secondary channel for shitposting, Brad Taste 2. This guy is unwell.
Even excited or just anything, like I get very loud.
Well, he actually had quite a bit to say after the truth came out. Most of it, however, was just him trying to gaslight his audience into believing he was the real victim in all of this.
See, I'm really scared of her because she's smarter than me. When our relationship, like, I'm younger than her, and I never really had a strong foundation, like at home.
Unfortunately for Brad, there's no one left to buy into his sub-stories.
Please tell me more.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries.
Yeah, I've heard of you. He's a good guy.
Above all, his inability...
Actually, didn't the Internet Anarchist have a drama at some point? What did he do? Go to Thailand? For unbeknownst reasons to the public? I'm sure he's a good guy. I don't know who he is, though.
Over the catastrophic downfall of Brad's taste in music. How he single-handedly ended his career through a string of controversies, and above all, his inability to admit fault or just shut up. And at this point, I doubt there's anything he can do to repair the damage that's already done. But there's one thing you can do right now that'll definitely help. Subscribe. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into the video.
Fuck you!
Now, I already made a video about Brad back in October of 2024, going over the many controversies that were ruining his career.
Yeah, this has been going on for like the past year. It's just been a non-stop spiral of drama after drama, update video after update video. I had to unsubscribe at some point because it was just not good. Not good to update your viewers on every little thing that you're thinking about all the time, I don't think.
And by extension, his
especially if
wife
it's
at the time.
personal.
But if you haven't seen that video, here's a super fast recap to get you up to speed. Bradley Lemon, better known as Brad Taste in Music, started his YouTube journey in April of 2018, and over the next few years managed to build a fairly successful career for himself as a music reviewer. At one point, he was charging up to $400 from fans for album review requests. But then he let the fame and fortune get to his head, got addicted to weed, and it was all downhill from there. From publicly promoting and defending a YouTuber with takes as horrendous as "consent is stupid, grape is natural and necessary for a happy and healthy society," to scamming his own editor out of hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, that Rose Malay person is insane as well, and somehow has gotten all wrapped up in this. I don't think I know her from anywhere else. I think it's just being involved in Brad Taste and Music's drama stuff.
And then freaking out on stream for seemingly no reason.
I under no circumstance can listen to this album right now because
it's too
I am
scary.
not safe in my own home.
Oh.
And I really can't describe much else.
The last time I talked about him, he was showing signs of progress and even revealed that he was going to rehab to improve his situation.
Letting you know
Good.
I'm going to rehab. Yep, about 2 months. It's intensive outpatient care.
This was a step in the right direction, so I ended the video by wishing him luck. So here's to hoping he completes rehab, takes time for his mental health, and returns to a better man. Unfortunately, no one, including myself, could have predicted just how insane Brad's downfall would get. Now, things actually started off okay, with him actually completing his rehab program.
He graduated from rehab.
And
Good
returning
job.
to making his usual
That's
content.
a W.
The fans couldn't have been happier, with comments like rehabilitated taste in music, happy for him. And yay, one of my favorite YouTubers, he disappeared from YouTube completely, practically out of nowhere. Fast forward to July 24th, 2025, and he returned with a video simply titled SI, referring to the mental health term suicidal ideations. This was a bit worrying.
Days since last normal one? They just reset to 0 when this video got uploaded. Because why would you eat? That's just not good. Everything down to the title. Bad idea.
At a first glance. However, the video actually started off on a fairly positive note, with Brad coming to terms with his downfall.
For some reason, like 11 months ago when like everything went down with my channel, I've just been like contemplating the perfect video, you know, that'll fix it all. I'll just say the right words and everything will go back to normal. I have learned since then that is not reality, and I don't want it to be reality.
He says that he's learned that, but is that not what we're still trying to do with this video right here?
But then he started explaining what was going on behind the scenes.
Obviously that was not going to happen here either, but it doesn't seem like he got that idea.
Things fell apart quickly. A few minutes into the video, he began trash talking his ex-fiancée Tina, how she made the situation even worse by apparently getting mad at him for not resolving the controversies more quickly, ultimately stressing him even more than he already was.
Like doing a stream, and then I left. I go to the kitchen. I see her sitting on the couch like screaming and crying, and I'm pissed off because like, I'm trying to focus, get work done.
He also accused her of secretly recording
What are you, sad? Hey man, that pisses me off.
Which he felt was highly immoral.
I was fucking pissed. I was just like mad because I'm trying to fucking figure everything out in like an impossible situation, you know, trying to get things back to normal so that like we could live a normal fucking life. And she repays me by recording me in my house without my knowledge,
screaming like a maniac.
She sends it to my parents,
probably freaking her out, making her think that her life's in danger or some shit.
She sends it to friends. She sends it to people who are associated with Hive Mind.
He ended this segment about Tina by disclosing that she apparently called the cops on him and got him arrested for domestic violence, when all he wanted was to end the relationship and to make her leave.
I pay the bills for this entire place, you know, like I'm keeping it up. You don't contribute shit to the equation. Get out. She calls the cops on me and they have me arrested for domestic.
Now, Brad was likely hoping to farm sympathy points with this video. Why else would he share such a massive part of his private life that no one was asking him about? His relationship was a thing of the past. The viewers had moved on by this point. Even if we give him the benefit of doubt, this was still a case of extreme oversharing with the internet, and maybe Brad would have actually received the sympathy he was looking for. If
I think he's even mentioned in one of his manic rant videos that like he goes to the internet to get like reinforcement to make himself feel better about stuff he's stressed about, which is not healthy. You're not supposed to do that. This is not a therapist.
For the fact that his entire story was manipulated to throw all of the blame on Tina and make himself look like the ultimate victim. Something about this video felt disingenuous, especially when the true feelings slipped out. Like when he insinuated that getting disowned by Hive Mind, a music YouTube channel he collaborated with, after Tina sent them the recordings, was
it's one thing losing your significant other, and it's another thing losing Hive Mind.
Worse than losing his partner of 5 years.
it's one thing like losing your partner, it's another thing like with losing hive mind.
This hinted at the possibility that he never truly cared about Tina in the first place, which in turn called his entire story
I'm sure that's not true, but it does leave that impression, yes.
abuser, and honestly, he's doing a pretty good job of deplatforming himself. In other words, Tina essentially accused Brad of being the abuser instead of the victim he was making himself out to be. Later the same day, she came out with a much more detailed thread going over her experience and why she stayed quiet all this time, stating, "I'm sifting through the many notes, audio recordings, and screenshots I have dating back to 2019. I'm not sure how much I want to share, if any. Please understand, I spent 5 years with this person, and he was paying me to work with / for him for less than 2 years of that. I do not want him to hurt himself, and I do not want to get into legal trouble. I have been silent for the past year because I wanted to see him get better, and I desperately wanted to move forward with my life after spending half of my 20s being abused. It's clear he still wants to punish me for the consequences of his own actions. This is not a new thing for me, as he did that the entire length of our relationship. After almost 6 years of trying my hardest to protect him, despite the abuse, I just don't have it in me anymore. I am not a public person, never have been. I'm trying to handle things in the best way that I can. Right now, I just need time to figure out the best way to move forward. I don't have anything compiled or prepared, because revisiting it is incredibly triggering. Put simply, she went through a lot, and was still on the fence about taking part in a drama about a relationship she escaped months ago. The internet, on the other hand, was quick to make a decision. Given the strange tone of Brad's video and his previous actions, many believed that Tina was the one telling the truth, resulting in overwhelming support for her, and just as intense backlash for Brad. A big part of this also stemmed from his own fans who'd seen Tina in the background of his content countless times, recognizing that she was far from the bad person Brad was making her out to be, with one such comment on Reddit stating, "We really went from Brad being an up-and-coming reviewer with a unique persona and good audience engagement on stream, to him being a domestic abuser lolcow. This is somehow a little bit worse if you've watched his content in the past. Tina, his now ex, was legitimately one of the most supportive people I've ever seen. Ever. She'd help him out on stream."
Yeah.
Expected, or at least that's how it started out, and then became progressively worse with each passing day. On the 27th of July, he uploaded a new video titled Just 2. This was a direct follow-up to his SI video, and while he didn't address the allegations directly, he did admit that his
double down number 42.
previous video was terrible in all regards.
I released a video a few days ago, and it was something that was called SI, and it was supposed to be talking about my experience with battling through all this mental health shit for the last year, and it was a fucking terrible idea. The video ended up being extremely exploitative of my ex.
He also apologized to his audience and announced a year-long break away from the internet.
I am going to disappear for a year, and see.
It's all chopped up in this documentary video here, but freaking, if you watch the uncut version of this video, he's just like all over the place, and it sounds much more manic because he's just like arbitrarily throwing out the idea of leaving for a year and that'll fix everything, and fucking also saying like, "This was the worst video I ever made. I've never seen anything worse than this," and he's just like really overselling it. It kind of makes it just seem hard to believe, even though like he is saying the right things, but maybe he doesn't know why.
This time next year, if I'm ready to try again. Because I'm clearly not ready for this, and I am rightfully
Bro was going through it though, you could tell.
Just terrible behavior, extremely irresponsible behavior. And I'd like to give just I would like to just say sorry.
Now, Tina never liked the idea of opening herself up to the internet in the first place. She just wanted to move on with her life, as evident from her next couple of tweets, reading, "I've decided that I'm not going to speak publicly on the Brad situation beyond these tweets. I just want to close this chapter and move on with my life. The only thing I want to clarify based on things I've seen being discussed is that he never hit me or physically abused me, and I'm going to continue silently rooting for his rehabilitation and working on healing the wounds that this whole recent situation reopened. Thanks again for all the support and kindness." And as much as the internet might have wanted to make Brad pay for whatever wrong he did in their relationship, it was ultimately Tina's decision to pursue that outcome or not. So had things ended here, the controversy likely would have blown over in days. But knowing Brad, that was
But it didn't blow over in days, and Brad probably had to let a third video hit the tower of our inbox, right?
Going to happen.
Main
he
channel?
has a habit of continuing to make things
New
worse for
update?
himself. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did this time around as well. His year-long break didn't even last 10 days. He was back to streaming and making videos on August 4th, and not with his usual content involving reviewing music. Instead, this one was a 50-minute freestyle rap session about how horrible Tina was.
I forgot about this. Yeah, this definitely has its moments, but he wasn't lying when he said this freestyle is like an hour long. So we are just gonna skip this part. I'm sure you can watch that on your own time.
My statement, trying to explain his side of the story once again. And just like before, it was filled with nothing more than lies and gaslighting, with him literally opening the video with his victimhood complex.
So, let me start this very dramatic speech by saying that the last week or two, I haven't even been keeping track, the last week or two, It's really hurt.
This was also the video where Brad dropped the mask entirely and then tried to justify his verbal abuse by, get this, claiming that he's just a naturally loud person.
Like, when I get very angry or even excited or just anything, like, I get very loud. Like, I use my
Violently
voice and the
loud.
volume of it to really express it. So basically, for me though, like,
You guys remember the devil horns from the beginning, right?
Didn't see what I become. Look at me the I can say that again.
He's just naturally loud trying to get his point across.
Never really saw anything wrong with it. They're just trying to be heard and get their point across, and you know,
Anyone who's being honest would see something wrong with that. Get a grip,
show
sir.
emotions. And so that's like me when I'm yelling.
Fed up with his BS and constant narrative twisting, Tina finally made the tough decision to go full scorched earth on Brad. So on August 6th, she gave the YouTuber, the Op Block, full permission to release the recordings of the incident that led to Brad's arrest. And they were far worse than anyone could have imagined. But before we get into the actual recordings, there's some important context we have to understand. First of which is that this incident took place not long after the controversy about Brad essentially scamming his editor, which is why Brad tried to present Tina as the abuser by accusing her of stressing him out and making his already tough situation worse. Secondly, Tina made 2 recordings, one of the incident that led up to his arrest and another of the events leading up to it. And to say that Brad sounds like an unhinged maniac in both would be a severe understatement. Before we go any further, I just want to give a quick trigger warning to anyone sensitive to yelling and verbal abuse. From here on, the video does get quite disturbing. It's done.
If this is the same audio we've already heard.
We can continue being combative because
Yeah, okay. You guys have probably heard that by now if you've been keeping up with this story. If this is your first time hearing it, you probably don't want to hear it. The guy's unhinged.
To a cartoonishly evil villain.
Look at me the I can
Well, here we
say
are.
that again. Look at me. Tell me. Tell me.
It's just so long and hard to listen to, but it's not much more productive than just this part. This is like the apex.
Tell me what the you just said. Tell me.
And attempting to kick her out again.
Get out of my house. Get out of my house.
So when you say that she got you arrested for domestic disturbing, violence, whatever, it was probably technically domestic violence, even though there was only verbal exchanges. This is definitely domestic abuse. Just even screaming at each other like this. You psychos. I said psychos. Psycho. Singular.
These few minute-long recordings debunked every lie Brad had been spewing about Tina about his domestic violence arrest over the past couple of weeks. They were the final straw for the few fans who were still waiting for the full story. There was no justification for his behavior, and he knew this all too well. So in a last-ditch effort to save some of his reputation, he uploaded another video titled Sorry. Now, at this stage, no amount of apologizing could fix the damage. Even then, him pulling out an apology ukulele would have been better than what we actually got. Despite everything that went
That would
down,
probably go crazy considering your musical background and your freestyle rapping skills.
despite everyone seeing his true face and no one standing by his side, Brad still tried to play the victim card.
See, I'm really scared of her because she's smarter than me. When our relationship, like, I'm younger than her, and I never really had a strong foundation, like at home.
Right alongside the mandatory tears to
It's just so creepy because it feels like he's like trying to manipulate her through the video, but like also everybody else that's watching. But it's just very
from
very
anyone gullible
skeezy.
enough to still believe him.
Getting a YouTube channel at like 17 years old and then becoming like really big, like that like fucks with your head.
Go to therapy, not my problem. Well, I mean, on a personal level, that is a problem that I also face. But that's why I have no sympathy for you.
Yeah, she was a victim of that. Absolutely. And right now, she is getting the support that she deserves. And again, if you're just hate watching this, she is in a horrible situation right now.
Something I haven't mentioned till now is that starting with the SI
What up,
video,
Galactic?
Brad kept deleting everything.
Am I hate watching this? I suppose I am. Just kidding. It's almost over anyway. Shout out Internet Anarchist. This was a good recap. Crazy situation, though. Hopefully Tina's doing better. Hopefully Brad gets well.